A Tale of Humility and Hope. The King and the Weaver's Daughter. King Theodoric ruled over the prosperous kingdom of Ethel for 2 decades. Renowned for his military prowess and strategic mind, he had expanded Ethel's borders, bringing prosperity and security. Yet, beneath the gleaming armor of a conquering king lurked a shadow, his insatiable pride. Theodoric believed himself invincible, a demigod amongst mortals. Whispers of rebellion in distant corners of the kingdom were dismissed with a haughty laugh. He surrounded himself with sycophants who echoed his boasts and fueled his arrogance. The once just ruler became more concerned with lavish feasts and extravagant displays of wealth than the well-being of his people. One crisp autumn morning, a young weaver named Elara stood at the edge of the bustling marketplace. Her nimble fingers expertly wove intricate patterns onto a tapestry. Elara was known for her insightful verses, often woven into the fabric alongside the vibrant colors. Today, however, her brow furrowed in worry. A heavy silence had settled over the once lively market. "Elara, what troubles you?" rasped an old woman, her wrinkled face etched with concern. It was Elara's grandmother, Anya, a woman whispered to have the wisdom of the ages. Elara sighed. "Grandmother, a strange feeling has gripped the marketplace. The people seem subdued." Anya pursed her lips. "Word travels faster than the wind, child. Whispers of the king's lavish feast tonight have reached every corner. Many a family has little left for even a meager meal." Elara felt a pang in her heart. The kingdom may have flourished under King Theodoric, but the opulence seemed to exist alongside a growing poverty. "There must be something we can do," she muttered, her voice resolute. Anya's eyes twinkled. "Perhaps, my dear. Perhaps you can weave a tale that even a king with ears closed tight might hear." Inspired, Elara hurried back to her humble workshop. With a renewed determination, she picked up her thread and set to work. The tapestry that emerged was unlike any she had created before. Its colors were muted, reflecting the somber mood of the kingdom. It depicted a majestic oak tree, its branches laden with golden leaves. But closer inspection revealed a disturbing truth: the roots were withered and brown, starved of nourishment. That evening, King Theodoric held a grand feast in his opulent palace. The finest foods and wines from across the land graced the tables. Bards sang of the king's victories, and jesters performed vulgar antics to elicit forced laughter. As the revelry reached its peak, a young woman, veiled and dressed in simple attire, slipped into the hall. She was Elara, disguised amongst the throng of performers. Reaching the center of the hall, Elara unfurled her tapestry. A hush fell over the room as the guests gasped at the somber image. Theodoric, his face flushed with wine, glared down at the woman. Elara, her voice clear though trembling slightly, began to weave a tale. "This tapestry," she announced, "represents the kingdom you rule, your majesty." A murmur of curiosity rippled through the hall. Theodoric, intrigued despite himself, gestured towards Elara. "Explain yourself, woman." Elara continued, her voice unwavering. "The mighty oak represents your reign, your majesty. Its branches, heavy with golden leaves, signify the kingdom's prosperity. Yet, the withered roots speak volumes. They show the dwindling fortunes of your people who toil to sustain this very feast." The king's face contorted in anger. "Are you questioning my rule, woman?" he roared. Elara stood her ground. "Never, your majesty. I merely ask you to see. True prosperity cannot exist on the foundation of a neglected people." A tense silence filled the hall. Some guests shifted uncomfortably, their eyes meeting Elara's with newfound respect. Others glared at the young woman, fearing the king's wrath. Theodoric, however, seemed to shrink under Elara's gaze. Slowly, the anger drained from his face, replaced by a flicker of shame. He dismissed the festivities with a weary wave of his hand. The days that followed were tense. The king remained secluded, pondering Elara's words. Fear mingled with a sliver of hope in the hearts of the people. Finally, after days of deliberation, Theodoric summoned Elara to his chambers. Elara walked through the grand hallways with trepidation. Reaching the king's quarters, she took a deep breath and entered. Theodoric looked older, his once proud posture slumped. "Elara," he began, his voice hoarse. "Your tapestry, it has haunted me." Elara bowed her head.